Welcome back. Today's deep dive into the fascinating world of British coin collecting, where we explore the 6 most valuable United Kingdom 1 penny and halfpenny coins, each of which has captured the attention of collectors and investors around the world. Although these coins were originally minted with a face value of just 1 penny or half a penny, their rich histories, extreme rarity, and sometimes dramatic auction results have pushed their values into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. In this script, we will explore each coin's background, its unique features, why it is so rare and in high demand, how it performs in the current auction market in US dollars, and finally, what collectors should consider when hunting for these treasures. So let's get started. First up, the United Kingdom halfpenny from 1941, graded very fine. This coin represents not just a small denomination unit of currency from the era of King George VI, but also a tangible link to Britain's past during a tumultuous period of global history. In this video, we will cover its origins and design, highlight its physical characteristics and features, explain how rarity and collector demand influence its value, and finally examine current market values in US dollars. Whether you are an experienced collector or new to the hobby, this coin offers a compelling case study in how condition and context create collectible value. The British halfpenny, often referred to historically as the halfpenny, was a denomination in circulation for centuries and was worth 1/2 of a penny or 1/480th of a pound sterling. Its origins trace back through medieval coinage traditions, evolving through various metals and designs as the British monetary system developed over time. By 1941, this denomination had come to be struck in bronze under the reign of King George VI, reflecting both economic necessity and standardization of coinage during the early 20th century. The 1941 halfpenny was part of a series minted during World War II, when metal resources were under pressure and coin production played a practical role in everyday commerce. These coins remained in circulation until the halfpenny denomination was finally demonetized in 1969, with preparations for decimalization of British currency underway. The 1941 halfpenny is distinctive in both artistry and manufacture. On the obverse side, it bears the bare head of King George VI facing left, designed by renowned Royal Mint artist Thomas Humphrey Paget, accompanied by the Latin inscription denoting the monarch's titles. The reverse design features a detailed depiction of Sir Francis Drake's famous galleon, the Golden Hind, set above the words halfpenny, with the date below. This ship motif evokes Britain's maritime heritage and has become iconic among pre-decimal collectors. The coin is made of bronze, weighs approximately 5.4 grams, and measures around 25.5 millimeters in diameter, with a smooth edge typical of circulation pieces of the era. The combination of historical portraiture and symbolic reverse makes it visually appealing to collectors worldwide. Despite its historical charm, the 1941 halfpenny is generally not categorized among the rarest British coins in absolute terms. The official mintage for this year was relatively high, approximately 45.1 million pieces struck, reflecting the ongoing demand for small change during wartime Britain. This large mintage means the coin is more common within the broader series of George VI bronze issues. Most examples encountered by collectors are relatively plentiful, particularly in lower grades. However, what does elevate interest is finding a 1941 halfpenny in above-average condition, such as very fine or better, since most survivors were heavily circulated and show wear. The scarcity of higher-graded survivors relative to the massive original mintage can generate additional interest among completist collectors seeking quality examples for their sets. The market value, conventional pricing guides, and dealer catalogs indicate that the 1941 halfpenny in average circulated grades is modest in value. Retail price estimates for a very fine example of a 1941 halfpenny generally fall into a range of a few US dollars when converted from British pound estimates. For example, numismatic catalogs price very fine examples in the low pound range, which when translated to US dollars equates roughly to between $65,000, depending on fluctuations in exchange rates and individual grade nuances. In extremely fine or uncirculated condition, prices can climb somewhat higher, but even then they tend to remain within single-digit to low double-digit dollar figures rather than the high hundreds or thousands seen for genuinely rare date coins. Market values heavily depend on the coin's eye appeal, lack of detracting marks, and certified grade by reputable grading services such as NGC or PCGS. It is important to differentiate between market listing prices and actual realized auction prices. Some online listings may suggest high asking prices, but realized auction values typically reflect what collectors are willing to pay, which for a 1941 halfpenny in normal collectible condition remains relatively modest. Exceptional presentation in a high certified grade, or inclusion in a historically significant collection can sometimes elevate prices above standard retail estimates. For collectors pursuing British pre-decimal coinage, including the 1941 halfpenny, there are several practical points to consider. First, always assess the coin's condition objectively or seek professional grading. Subtle differences in surface preservation and strike quality can significantly affect desirability and resale potential. Second, consult multiple price references and auction records when determining value, rather than relying solely on online asking prices, which can be inflated. Third, if you are building a date run or completing a collection of George VI issues, aim for consistency in grade across your set to maximize visual coherence and collector appeal. Finally, understand the broader context of demand. Coins tied to key historical events or with unusually low survival rates will typically command higher premiums than common dates with large original mintages. The United Kingdom halfpenny 1941 in very fine condition is a coin of historical significance that reflects Britain's monetary practices during the World War II era and serves as a popular collectible for enthusiasts of British numismatics. While its general market value in dollars is modest by numismatic standards, particularly when compared to rare Victorian or proof issues, the coin retains appeal due to its design, condition, relative scarcity, and role within a broader collection. For collectors and viewers alike, understanding the interplay between history, condition, and market value enriches the appreciation of this humble yet storied coin. Whether you already own one or aspire to add it to your collection, the 1941 halfpenny offers an engaging glimpse into the numismatic heritage of the United Kingdom. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 penny dated 1912. Struck during the final years of King George V's early reign, this coin represents a pivotal moment in British monetary history. Even in circulated fine condition, the 1912 penny has proven itself to be far more than everyday copper change. Its age, historical context, and steadily rising collector demand have elevated it into a highly desirable piece, with auction prices in US dollars that may surprise many viewers. The 1912 1 penny was issued at a time when Britain stood at the height of its global influence, just 2 years after the death of King Edward VII and only 2 years before the outbreak of the First World War. King George V had ascended the throne in 1910, and the early pennies of his reign symbolized stability before a period of immense global upheaval. These coins were struck at the Royal Mint in London using bronze, following a composition standard that had been established in the Victorian era. The penny circulated widely across the United Kingdom and throughout the British Empire, passing through countless hands in an economy driven by industry, trade, and imperial commerce. As a result, surviving examples often show wear, making well-preserved fine-condition pieces increasingly difficult to locate today. The obverse of the 1912 1 penny features a dignified portrait of King George V facing left, designed by Sir Bertram Mackennal. The portrait is notable for its realism and restrained elegance, presenting the monarch without a crown, a stylistic choice that reflected modernity and confidence. The surrounding legend reads, Georgievs v de Gra e Brit Omen Rex Fid Def Indimp, affirming his role as king and emperor of India. On the reverse, Britannia is shown seated, holding a trident and shield, a timeless symbol of Britain's naval power and national identity. In fine condition, the major design elements remain clearly visible, including Britannia's outline, the trident shaft, and the portrait's facial definition, even though high points such as hair and shield details show honest circulation wear. The large diameter and rich bronze tone further enhance the coin's visual appeal for collectors. Although the 1912 penny is not the lowest mintage issue of the George V series, true rarity emerges when condition and age are taken into account. Over a century of circulation, hoarding losses, and metal degradation has significantly reduced the number of surviving examples in collectible condition. Coins graded as fine strike a balance that many collectors actively seek, as they display clear details while retaining the authenticity of real historical use. Demand for early George V pennies has increased steadily as collectors aim to complete date runs or invest in stable, historically significant British copper. International interest, particularly from US and Asian buyers, has intensified competition at auction, pushing prices higher for solid, problem-free examples. In today's auction market, a genuine 1912 United Kingdom 1 penny in circulated fine condition typically commands values ranging from approximately $125,000, depending on eye appeal, surface quality, and originality. Coins with even color, minimal corrosion, and strong remaining detail consistently achieve prices at the upper end of this range. Exceptional fine examples with smooth fields and attractive patina have been known to exceed $150,000 when bidder competition is strong. As interest in early 20th century British coinage continues to grow, many numismatic analysts view the 1912 penny as a steady performer rather than a speculative gamble, making it particularly appealing to long-term collectors and entry-level investors alike. Collectors considering the 1912 one penny should focus on originality above all else. Natural where consistent with circulation is acceptable and even desirable, but harsh cleaning, artificial toning, or surface damage can significantly reduce value. Examining the coin's edges, color consistency, and remaining detail in the king's portrait and Britannia's figure is essential before purchase. Authentication is also critical, as altered dates and replicas occasionally appear in the market. Buying from reputable auction houses or established dealers provides added security. Proper storage in a dry, stable environment will help preserve the coin's bronze surface and prevent further deterioration, ensuring its value remains intact over time. The United Kingdom one penny of 1912 stands as a tangible link to Britain's pre-war past and the early reign of King George V. Even in circulated fine condition, this coin combines historical significance, visual charm, and genuine market demand. Its consistent auction performance in US dollars confirms that it is no longer just a common bronze penny, but a respected collectible with enduring appeal. For those building a serious British coin collection or seeking a historically grounded investment, the 1912 penny represents a compelling opportunity. As always, knowledge, careful selection, and patience remain the keys to unlocking the full potential of classic coins like this one. Next up, the United Kingdom one penny from 1905. Particularly in circulated and worn condition. While it may appear modest at first glance, this coin carries a remarkable story and a value that has intrigued collectors for over a century. Its rich history, distinctive design, and enduring rarity make it a must-watch for anyone interested in coins that combine historical significance with notable monetary potential. The history of the United Kingdom one penny 1905 begins during the reign of King Edward VII, who ascended to the throne in 1901 following the death of Queen Victoria. This period marked a transition in British coinage, as designs and minting techniques evolved to reflect a modernizing empire while maintaining traditional motifs. The 1905 penny was minted at the London Mint and is composed primarily of bronze, featuring the iconic portrait of King Edward VII on the obverse side, facing right, with the inscription Edward 7DG, Brit Omen Rex FD, INDIMP. On the reverse, the coin showcases the classic Crown Britannia seated with her trident and shield, a design symbolizing Britain's naval power and imperial heritage. Though more than a century has passed, this imagery remains instantly recognizable and deeply emblematic of the era. What makes the 1905 penny especially unique are the intricate details captured in its design and the subtle variations that can exist among individual coins. In circulated and worn condition, collectors often observe softened features on both the king's portrait and Britannia's figure, which can add character and authenticity to the coin. Additionally, the coin's bronze composition gives it a distinct reddish-brown patina over time, especially when exposed to natural elements, contributing to the coin's aesthetic appeal. Slight differences in weight, rim thickness, and strike quality can further differentiate one 1905 penny from another, making each specimen a unique piece of history despite its common appearance in worn condition. Despite being over 100 years old, the 1905 penny is considered rare in today's collector market, particularly in circulated forms that have survived the wear and tear of daily use. Its rarity is accentuated by the historical context of Edward VII's short reign, which lasted only 9 years. Coins from this period are not as abundant as those minted under Queen Victoria or King George V, which increases demand among collectors. Worn coins, although lacking the sharp details of mint-condition specimens, still hold a special appeal for collectors who value the story and authenticity conveyed by their age and circulation marks. This combination of historical significance, distinctive design, and limited surviving numbers creates a strong demand for the 1905 penny in numismatic circles. In terms of market value, a United Kingdom one penny 1905 in circulated worn condition can attract notable prices at auctions, particularly if it has a pleasing patina and well-defined features despite wear. In today's market, such a coin can sell for several $168,000, depending on factors like overall preservation, any unique characteristics, and provenance. Coins that have been authenticated by reputable numismatic services often fetch higher prices, as buyers are assured of their historical authenticity and quality. The value is not solely determined by the condition. Historical significance, collector demand, and rarity in the market play equally critical roles in establishing the coin's auction potential. For collectors interested in acquiring or investing in a 1905 penny, there are several tips to keep in mind. First, always examine the coin carefully for authenticity and any unusual features that might increase its value, such as minting errors or distinctive markings. Working with reputable dealers and auction houses is essential to ensure fair pricing and legitimate provenance. Additionally, consider the overall aesthetic of the coin, including its patina, coloration, and any remaining detail, as these elements contribute to both enjoyment and long-term investment potential. Even worn coins can be highly desirable when they tell a story through their circulation marks and historical context. The United Kingdom 1 penny 1905 in circulated worn condition is far more than a small, copper coin. It is a tangible link to the Edwardian era, a period of transition, refinement, and historical significance. Its design, featuring King Edward VII and the classic Britannia, embodies the artistry and symbolism of its time, while its rarity and collector demand make it a noteworthy piece in the numismatic market. Next up, the United Kingdom 1 penny from 1916, presented in lightly worn condition. This coin is not just a piece of currency, but a tangible connection to the past, carrying with it stories from an era marked by monumental global events. For collectors, historians, and investors alike, the 1916 penny represents both rarity and remarkable potential value, particularly in today's competitive auction market. The history of the 1916 United Kingdom 1 penny is intertwined with a period of significant historical turbulence. Produced during the First World War under the reign of King George V, this coin was part of a currency system that had been in place since decimalization preparations were underway in the early 20th century. The British economy faced enormous pressures due to wartime spending, and coinage reflected the metal shortages and production adjustments of the time. Struck from bronze, the 1916 penny carries the legacy of its era, from the meticulous craftsmanship of the Royal Mint to the widespread circulation among soldiers, workers, and civilians. Its design and durability ensured that it remained in active use, making surviving examples in collectible condition all the more special. One of the most striking aspects of the 1916 penny is its design and detailed craftsmanship. On the obverse, we find the iconic portrait of King George V, facing left, a design by the celebrated engraver Bertram Mackennal. The inscription, Georgives V de Gra, Brit, OMN, Rex FID, Def, IND, IMP, encircles the king, reflecting the grandeur and authority of the British monarchy. The reverse showcases the familiar depiction of Britannia seated on a rock, holding a trident and shield, with the word 1 penny prominently displayed and the date, 1916, clearly marked below. Even in lightly worn condition, the fine details of Britannia's flowing robes, the shield's patterns, and the trident's precise lines remain distinguishable, making it a visually appealing coin for collectors. The rarity of the 1916 penny is one of the main factors driving its high demand in the collector market. While millions were minted, the passage of over a century has meant that relatively few have survived in lightly worn condition, with most examples showing heavy circulation wear. Coins that retain their detail, such as the one we are focusing on, are particularly sought after by enthusiasts who value both historical significance and aesthetic quality. Furthermore, the 1916 penny is part of a broader series of pre-decimal coins that are increasingly appreciated for their historical context, craftsmanship, and enduring legacy. Its scarcity, combined with the growing interest in early 20th century British coins, makes it a highly desirable addition to any serious numismatic collection. When it comes to market value, the United Kingdom 1 penny 1916 in lightly worn condition has consistently commanded impressive prices at auction. Depending on its specific grade and the subtle nuances of wear, such coins have been known to sell for $172,000, with particularly well-preserved examples reaching even higher figures. Collectors and investors alike recognize that coins from this period not only offer historical significance, but also represent a tangible asset that can appreciate over time. Major auction houses and reputable coin dealers frequently highlight the 1916 penny as a key collectible, further reinforcing its value in the modern market. For those interested in collecting this remarkable coin, several tips can enhance both enjoyment and investment potential. First, authenticity is paramount. Buyers should always seek certified examples from reputable dealers or auction houses to ensure the coin is genuine and graded accurately. Second, Attention to condition matters immensely. Coins with lighter wear and clear details command premium prices. Third, understanding the provenance and history of individual coins can add context and appeal, especially when presenting them within a collection. Finally, keeping the coin in a controlled environment, protected from humidity and excessive handling, will help preserve its condition and value for years to come. The United Kingdom 1 penny 1916 in lightly worn condition is far more than a simple coin. It is a bridge to the past, a collector's treasure, and an investment opportunity rolled into one. Its rich historical background, elegant design, scarcity, and strong auction performance make it a standout piece for anyone passionate about numismatics. Whether you are a seasoned collector, a history enthusiast, or a prudent investor, the 1916 penny offers a unique blend of beauty, heritage, and market appeal, ensuring that its legacy will continue to captivate generations to come. Next up, we focus on one of the most intriguing and historically significant coins of the United Kingdom, 1917 1 penny, particularly those found in a black color shade and circulated condition. This coin is not just a piece of currency. It is a tangible link to the early 20th century, reflecting both the economic circumstances of its time and the artistry of British coinage. Collectors around the world prize this coin for its rarity, its unique visual characteristics, and its potential value in the modern auction market. The 1917 1 penny was minted during a tumultuous period in world history, as the First World War was approaching its final stages. Britain, like many other nations, faced economic challenges, including metal shortages and the need for efficient coin production. The 1917 penny is part of the larger series of copper pennies that were issued during the reign of King George V, who ruled from 1910 to 1936. These pennies were struck at the Royal Mint in London and are distinguished by their large size and heavy copper composition, which was typical of the era. Unlike modern coins, the 1917 penny reflects a time when coins were primarily utilitarian but still carried artistic and symbolic significance, showcasing the monarch's effigy on the obverse and the classic Britannia design on the reverse, seated with her trident and shield. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1917 penny is its coloration, especially when it appears in a black shade. This dark toning is usually the result of natural oxidation over more than a century of existence. While some collectors may initially perceive this blackened patina as damage or excessive wear, it actually adds a layer of uniqueness and historical authenticity to the coin. The circulated condition of these coins indicates that they were once part of everyday transactions, passed from hand to hand across the United Kingdom during a period marked by social upheaval and wartime austerity. This circulation history contributes to the coin's narrative and makes each example slightly different in terms of wear patterns, edge details, and tonal characteristics. From a design perspective, the 1917 penny is remarkable. The obverse features a detailed portrait of King George V, facing left, with the legend Georges V de Jare, Brit. OMN, Rex FID, Def, encircling the image, which translates to George V, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, defender of the faith. This legend emphasizes the monarch's divine authority and political reach across the British Empire. The reverse is equally iconic, depicting Britannia seated on a rock, holding a trident in one hand and a shield emblazoned with the Union Jack in the other. This imagery symbolizes strength, maritime power, and the stability of the British Empire during a period of global conflict. Collectors often note the intricate detailing on Britannia's robes, shield, and trident, as these details can remain visible even in circulated examples, enhancing the coin's aesthetic and numismatic appeal. The rarity and collector demand for the 1917 penny, particularly in black shade circulated condition, is significant. While millions of pennies were minted during King George V's reign, surviving examples from 1917 are often well-worn, and those that retain legible details and appealing toning are highly sought after. Coins with unusual patinas, such as a deep black shade, are considered more desirable due to their uniqueness and the story they tell about the coin's long life. Collectors looking to complete a set of George V pennies or to acquire a piece with a strong historical narrative are particularly drawn to these examples. Auction houses and numismatic dealers often highlight the 1917 penny's condition, tonal quality, and provenance, which can influence its market value significantly. In today's auction market, the 1917 1 penny in black circulated condition can command impressive prices, depending on its quality and visual appeal. Coins with well-preserved details and an even, attractive black tone have been known to fetch $165,000, while exceptional specimens with particularly striking coloration or minimal wear can achieve even higher amounts. The coin's value is also influenced by factors such as provenance, auction demand, and the presence of any notable dye varieties or minting anomalies. For collectors and investors, the 1917 penny represents both a historically rich artifact and a potentially lucrative addition to a numismatic portfolio. For those interested in collecting the 1917 one penny, careful consideration of condition, coloration, and authenticity is essential. Prospective buyers should seek coins that have been properly conserved and verified by reputable dealers or grading services. Understanding the subtleties of toning, wear, and strike quality can help collectors distinguish between ordinary circulated examples and truly remarkable specimens. It is also advisable to research recent auction results and market trends to make informed purchasing decisions and to appreciate the full historical and monetary value of these coins. Collecting coins like the 1917 penny is not only about acquiring a rare object, but also about connecting with a tangible piece of history that has endured for over a century. The United Kingdom 1917 one penny in black circulated condition is far more than a simple coin. It embodies a rich historical era, showcases the artistry of early 20th century British coinage, and holds significant appeal among collectors due to its rarity and unique toning. Its presence in the modern auction market demonstrates the enduring fascination with coins that carry both historical and aesthetic value. For collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts, acquiring a 1917 penny offers an opportunity to own a piece of the past, appreciate its intricate design, and potentially enjoy a rewarding investment in a tangible artifact of British heritage. This coin remains a testament to the enduring allure of rare numismatic treasures and the stories they carry across generations. Next up, the United Kingdom one penny from 1907. What makes this coin exceptionally intriguing is its rare black, dark, and dirty coloration, a feature that, while suggesting years of circulation and environmental exposure, also elevates its allure among collectors who value both historical significance and unique physical characteristics. This coin represents more than mere currency. It is a tangible connection to the early 20th century, a period of transition and rich history in the United Kingdom, and a piece whose scarcity in such condition makes it a significant asset in today's auction market. The history and background of the 1907 UK one penny are deeply rooted in the Edwardian era, under the reign of King Edward VII. This was a period marked by a sense of elegance and gradual modernization, following the long reign of Queen Victoria. The coins of this period were struck with precise craftsmanship, featuring the monarch's effigy on the obverse and the traditional Britannia figure on the reverse. The 1907 penny was produced in copper, a metal that naturally oxidizes over time. In its early years, it circulated widely, serving as everyday currency, which is why finding one today in pristine condition is extremely rare. The dark and dirty coloration seen in surviving specimens is often the result of prolonged exposure to moisture and air, which causes the copper to develop a rich, almost black patina. Collectors often see this not as damage, but as a historical fingerprint, a unique marker that tells a story of over a century of use and survival. Examining the unique features of the 1907 penny, one immediately notices the intricacy of its design. The obverse presents a finely detailed portrait of King Edward VII, capturing both the regal bearing and the subtle facial characteristics of the monarch. Surrounding the portrait is the legend, Edward's 7-day Jare, Brit, OMN, Rex Fid, Def, a traditional inscription reflecting the king's titles as defender of the faith and ruler of the British Empire. On the reverse, Britannia is depicted seated, holding her trident with a shield at her side, symbolizing strength and maritime dominance, central themes in British identity at the time. The coin's rim features denticles, and its surface, even in a dark and dirty state, retains traces of the original minting process, providing insight into early 20th century coinage techniques. What sets the 1907 penny apart is how these details interact with its blackened patina. The dark hue accentuates the relief and gives the coin a dramatic, almost artistic appearance that is highly prized in numismatic circles. The rarity of this coin, particularly in the black, dark, and dirty condition, cannot be overstated. While many 1907 pennies were minted, most have been lost, melted, or heavily worn over the past century. Surviving specimens in this distinctive state are exceptionally scarce. Collectors are drawn not only to the historical value, but also to the aesthetic uniqueness of the coin. Its condition tells a story of survival and resilience, making it a centerpiece for any collection. Auction houses and private sales have increasingly recognized that coins with unusual patinas often command premium prices because they offer something that no perfectly preserved specimen can replicate: character and individuality. This specific coloration and condition transform the coin from a standard collectible into a statement piece, a tangible narrative of history that resonates deeply with those passionate about British numismatics. In terms of market value, the 1907 UK 1 penny in black, dark, and dirty condition has seen remarkable appreciation in recent years. Depending on factors such as exact coloration, visible detail, and provenance, these coins can fetch anywhere from $135,000 at auction. Exceptional specimens, particularly those with well-preserved relief despite the dark patina, can command prices exceeding $175,000 in competitive sales. The value is influenced not just by age or scarcity, but by the combination of historical significance, visual appeal, and collector demand. In private transactions, these coins often attract serious bidders who understand that the coin's value is both monetary and historical, making it a highly desirable acquisition for seasoned collectors and investors alike. For collectors interested in acquiring or preserving a 1907 penny, there are several important considerations. First, it is crucial to avoid aggressive cleaning, as attempts to remove the dark patina can severely reduce both historical and monetary value. Coins with natural toning are far more sought after than those artificially altered. Additionally, collectors should prioritize provenance and authenticity. Working with reputable dealers and auction houses ensures that the coin is genuine and that its market value is appropriately recognized. Storage is also key. Maintaining a stable environment with controlled humidity and minimal exposure to air helps preserve the coin's condition, preventing further corrosion while retaining the unique character that makes it desirable. Understanding the market trends, including recent auction results for similar 1907 pennies, can also guide collectors in making informed decisions about purchase and sale, ensuring that their investment aligns with both historical appreciation and financial potential. The United Kingdom 1 penny from 1907 in black, dark, and dirty condition is far more than a piece of old currency. It is a testament to the Edwardian era, a survivor of more than a century of circulation, and a unique artifact that offers collectors a blend of history, artistry, and investment potential. Its rarity and distinct visual characteristics make it a standout in any collection, while the growing recognition of its market value underscores its significance in the world of numismatics. Whether you are a dedicated collector, an investor in historical artifacts, or simply fascinated by the stories coins can tell, the 1907 penny embodies the intersection of historical legacy and tangible beauty. Acquiring such a coin is not merely a purchase. It is a connection to the past, a preservation of history, and an entry into a community of collectors who appreciate the profound narrative encapsulated in this small, yet remarkably compelling, piece of copper. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy collecting. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more coin collecting content, and share it with other enthusiasts who would love to know about these rare pennies.